Welcome to the Director's Cut podcast, a part of the Storytown Radio Show. In this podcast, we will feature stories that didn't make the final cut for the live radio show, but they are excellent stories and need to be shared. Today's edition was submitted for the February 2024 Love Leads the Way radio show. We asked our cast and writers to submit stories about how they met their significant others. And this was the hilarious edition from Tulay Neal. I will say that this podcast today is rated PG-13, so there is a listener advisory in effect. Here now is Floating Boobs by Tulay Neal, performed by Tulay Neal, Lori Herlick, and Paul Harris.
I am going to start my story the way Sophia Petrillo in Golden Girls always started. Picture it. Frankfurt, Germany. Thursday, 19th of August, 1971. While going through music training, I had also landed a job as a medical secretary at U.S. Military 97th General Hospital. Single secretaries of different nationalities were giving a room at their military housing basements. That evening after work, I had hired a mini pickup taxi to carry my basic furniture and bedding that we were allowed to use as long as we were employed. Taxi driver told me it would cost around 22 German marks. I had a little less than 50 marks to last me for the rest of the month. However, it took almost 2 hours of Army red tape to complete paperwork and for soldiers to finally carry them out to load. All the while, the meter was running. By the time we got to my apartment, the meter read almost 70 German marks, which was a lot of money then. Once the driver realized I did not have the full amount, he grabbed all I had with anger, even shaking the coins out of my wallet. My plea to keep 10 marks and I would pay him the rest when I got paid was hopeless. So, here I am, sitting at the edge of the bare mattress of my single bed. My room was half basement, the only window facing the parking lot. It was after work and already dark. As people parked, headlights from their cars shone right into my room. I had no curtains, and the window had no blinds. I broke into tears. No money until 1 September. No food, and those darn cars kept flooding my room with their headlights. I was literally sobbing, apparently quite loud.
Hallo, Nachbarin, geht es dir gut? Which meant, hello neighbor, are you all right?
I opened the door as I wiped my eyes. There stood a big, tall, blonde German lady. Later, I learned that her nickname was Russian Tank.
I heard you crying. What's wrong? My name is Margaret, by the way.
I am Tulay. Nice to meet you. Well, I don't have any curtains. Those car lights are so bothersome. I could use a sheet, but I have no nails or a hammer.
Is that all there is? Come on, wipe your eyes. I bring you a curtain in a minute and hang it for you. You go get ready. I already called a taxi to meet my American boyfriend at the new Rod and Gun Club. Hurry up, get ready.
As she left, I was thinking, taxi? In Germany, that means I am expected to pay half of it. She was back in a jiffy with a hammer and nails and a bright, large cloth. Before I could even say, I can't come with you, I have to watch my budget, she had already nailed them over my window.
Ha! I know what you are thinking. I am going whether you come with me or not. You don't have to split the fare. My boyfriend is bringing a new friend of his who has just arrived from the States. It is disco dance night. Going to be a lot of fun.
She would not take no for an answer.
My taxi is here. Come on, grab your purse and don't worry. Americans won't let you pay for your drinks either.
As we entered the club, it was almost pitch black. They had black disco lights on. I could only see some white shirts and teeth. I was wearing a very mini black skirt, a wide black belt that went all the way up under my bra. I was pretty skinny then, but still had quite a big bosom. And of course, what else but wearing a white tank top? Margaret was looking around the tables, trying to locate her boyfriend. I am now going to continue from the viewpoint of my husband that I had not met yet.
Here I was, sitting with a fellow American that I recently met, sipping my bourbon and 7. As far as I knew, only his girlfriend was coming. As the band started, they turned the black lights on. About that time, my eyes caught a pair of big, floating boobs. They were floating, bouncing, and moving. My eyes were fixated on them, following them around as they floated across and kept floating towards us. They got closer and closer. I think I heard someone talking to me, but I wasn't listening. Oh my God. Oh my God. Those floating boobs just sat right next to me. I heard some talking in my ears, but it was all swooshed. My eyes took over my ears. I couldn't hear a thing. Then the strangest thing happened. Those boobs, they started talking with a strange accent, nevertheless.
I was more than a little irritated when he didn't respond when we were introduced. Took him quite a while before he even said any word. He was very quiet the entire evening. He proposed to me 2 months later. And 6 months later, again. Each time I told him that my no was to marriage itself, not to him. I wanted to finish my music training first, for which I came to Frankfurt, all the way from Ankara, Turkey. Another 6 months later, on his third proposal, I finally said yes. As they say, the third time is the charm.
Thank you for tuning in for the Director's Cut podcast, a part of Storytown Radio Show. Check in next month for more stories. Storytown is supported by Tennessee Arts Commission, Trivia with Buds, The Silver Raven, Gary and Sandy Degner, and Mountain Empire Cremation and Burial Services, and of course, the Wild Women of Jonesboro.